I'm a sports fan, NFL mostly. I'll watch just about any kind of sport, but NFL is what I'm into. Hoping for a different outcome this year. Kind of hoping. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, and I'd love to not see the Chiefs there. Sorry if you're a Chiefs fan. I know there's a lot of them. But I'm just a little tired of seeing them about the way I was tired of seeing New England. But not saying Tom was bad or anything. He was great. Tom, he's a good dude. But got sick of seeing him there for a while. But anyway, Green Bay Packers fan. I think they play Friday night in Brazil or something. So that's going to be a little bit new. I think it's the first time they played in Brazil. But anyway, I wanted to do a little bit of a video just kind of talking and, telling you who I am and kind of where I want the channel to go and what it's going to be. And something that's probably never going to be, I don't want to say never, but it probably will never be big and flashy with great editing and all of that. It may be, I don't know. I'll just have to see what I learn as I go. But that's kind of what I'm doing, is learning as I go. I was born in 1977, so I don't think I had a first cell phone until I was in my 20s, maybe. I don't even remember. So I grew up outside, hunting, fishing, running around, riding bikes, doing shit I probably wasn't supposed to, smoking cigarettes on the railroad track and skipping school, that kind of stuff. I've been into knives for a long time, and I just wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about myself. And I've got a bit of an interesting story on how I got back into knives. It's a little graphic. My family doesn't like me to talk about it, but I don't mind it. I'm alive now, and so it's all good. But I'll get into that in just a minute. I was born in Rowan, Indiana, and born and raised there my whole life. I was always into knives. I probably had my first pocket knife when I was 5, and my dad gave it to me, and I think maybe 10 minutes later I about cut my fingers off. So Mom took the knife, and I probably didn't see another one for a few years. Not my idea, Mom's, but we always come from a hunting and fishing type of family, and so you always had to have a knife to do those types of things. But I always thought, to me, I didn't get on the internet a whole lot, and I don't know, I guess I didn't see a whole lot. I thought like a buck 110, I just thought that was about the best knife you could get. And a buck 119 is what all my family hunted with. My dad carried one for years and years. And I thought that was, that was your hunting knife and your, everyday carry knife. If you could, the weight didn't bother you. The 110s are heavy. But, so 2009 comes, I moved to Kentucky. I moved down here to help take care of my parents. They were getting older and couldn't do their yard work and stuff like that. And I was a single father at the time, so it was me and my son. And I didn't know a whole lot of people down here. And in 2014, I was having a couple beers, and I think it was a Friday night. My son got home from school, and he wanted to roast some hot dogs and marshmallows and things like that. And I said, okay, let's go out back. And we've got a pretty good yard. Our driveway is about a little over a quarter of a mile long. And, we're the only ones back here, dead end, and good yard, woods around. But just at the beginning of our driveway, there's a few houses. Well, my son, he rode the bus with some kids, and he asked if he could invite some friends down, some kids he rode the bus with or whatever. And I was like, sure, and just go ask them. So he comes back and he's like, yeah, Dad, they can, but their mom said only if she comes down too. And I was like, well, okay. And so I thought she probably wanted to meet me, which is just being a responsible person. would, you know. So she comes down here. I introduce myself, and so she ends up sitting in a chair off to the side, doesn't say anything, just sitting over there, which on her phone, which was kind of odd. I never really said much to even her kids or my kid or me or anything. And so about an hour and a half goes by, and I see headlights coming down the drive. And, you know, you see headlights like I explained where our house is at. If you see headlights, you know somebody's coming. It's to your place. So I start looking around. I wasn't expecting anybody. And I started to head around there to see who it is. And she says, and this is the first word she's really spoke the whole time. She says, "Don't go around there. He's going to kill you." So I'm like, what the, you know, what? And my son's there. Yeah. And she said it again, "Don't go around there. He's going to kill you." And so I'm thinking, what the hell? Who? What is going on? So I go around there. I've had a few beers. I go around there and I see the headlights. There's a vehicle stopped, and the headlights are bearing right down on me. I can't see in the car. I can't see nothing. So I just start telling him, "Whoever you are, this is private property. You need to get the fuck out of here and get on, you know, get going." And the car just sits there. They're not leaving. So I walk up a little bit closer. I'm still probably 20 yards away. Still can't see anything. And at this point, the kids are starting to try to come around inside the house and see what's going on. And I told them to stay back there. You know, so I'm trying to tell the kids, "Hey, get around there, go on. It's all right, stay back there." And so I tell them one more time, "Get out of here." And as I turn around to walk back to get the kids, you know, back around the house, I hear the car click into gear. So I assume they put it in reverse. Well, they didn't. They put it in drive, and the dude slammed on the gas. And as soon as I turned around, he nailed me with the car. I flipped up over the hood onto the windshield, and where I landed just outside his driver door. So I'm on the ground, and I'm distraught. I'm like not understanding what the hell just happened. So I start to get up, and he gets out of the car, and he proceeds to stab me with the Buck 119. Not this one. This one's mine. And it's weird that you know, I hadn't been around knives, and you know, I'm not into knives at this point or anything. It's been a long time since I even had anything different. I had a couple little Imperial, just Walmart knives, you know, different things. And yeah, he proceeds to stab me while I'm on the ground. All I can do is try to protect my face with my arms. So about that time, my stepdad comes rolling down the drive, and he doesn't really know what's going on, but he's got a shotgun in his truck, and he blasts it into the air a few times. Dude jumps into his vehicle and pulls it out of the fence and whips around my stepdad, and then they immediately have to rush me to the hospital. And then they rushed me to Vanderbilt in Nashville. Yeah, I was bleeding profusely. My wife's going to try to roll in. If we can figure out how to do this, I know it's graphic. I don't know if YouTube will throw a fit about it or not, but my wife's going to try to roll in a few pictures right here. So I'm bleeding really bad. There was some main arteries cut. It wasn't good. I was in pretty good spirits. I didn't realize how bad I'd been stabbed. You know, I'd had, I think, 5 different times in my arms. I've got a scar here. It's one of the biggest places, and the arteries and nerves were all severed right here. That was probably the worst one. That looked like just somebody had turned a water hose on. It was just flowing. And but you know, of course, I was thinking a lot when this is going on. A lot's going through my mind. Am I going to die? You know, why is this happening? So the why was this happening? Well, the reason that she wanted to come down here for in her fucked up little mind or whatever was going on was she had a boyfriend that I guess timing was perfect. I don't know that she wanted to make jealous, and she used me to do that without me knowing or anything. And that whole time she was sitting there on her phone, she was texting with him and carrying on, just trying to make it look like she was here with me. I had no idea. I'd never even met the woman except for that time. When the police got her phone, he had said, I think they said 17 times, no, 23 times that he was going to kill me. You would think that that was attempted murder. That's what he was supposed to get, you know, when I talked to the cops and went to court and all that, which along with the pictures, my wife should be rolling in a police report and some things like that, just to verify the story. So yeah, it was a shitty situation. What was I saying? But so all of that. But while I was being stabbed, the funny thing is, it's kind of funny to me now. I recognized the knife, the 119, and I, amongst many other things going through my mind, I was like, that's my dad's knife. That's the knife my dad always carried. So that's a little messed up, but yeah. And so fast forward a few days, I spent a couple days in Vanderbilt Hospital. They got me all sewed up, and the nerve damage, the nerve repair, it actually left me partially disabled. The nerve damage in my arm was so extensive that for a long time I couldn't hold a cup of coffee. I couldn't really work anything. And they said I would have to either go to like Connecticut or Georgia, I think, one of two places that could do the microscopic nerve surgery to get my feeling back, and it would be like $160,000, something like that. I'm like, yeah, that won't happen. I'll just have to deal with it, which I have. I don't have feeling. It's like there's a strip right through my thumb all the way up through my arm, just like a strip that I have no feeling in. Right through here. It just feels like it's asleep all the time, but I'm used to it now. So after I get out of the hospital, I work on getting healed up and go through the therapy and all of this stuff I got to do. And I had a lot of court hearings and stuff. And I can tell you that dude only done a year and a half. I don't know how. But that's all he done. I've never seen him since or anything like that. I got a lawyer trying to sue to get something, damages or anything, and he was just a piece of shit. He didn't have anything, so there was just nothing. If they don't have anything, I guess there's nothing you can get. I've never been in a situation like that, so I've never sued anybody or anything, but I mean, I guess that's how it works. So when I say that's my interesting story to how I got back into knives, it kind of is. Like I said before, then I didn't really have anything special. Just maybe a case knife laying around or something like that. So after I got healed up and everything, I thought, you know what, I ought to carry a good knife again. And I took my son and we went to a knife shop, and I bought a Schrade single action automatic for $60 and some other kind of knife. I don't remember what it was now. I spent $100 on two knives, and I walked out of that place, two used knives. And I walked out of that place thinking that I had the best two knives on the planet. I'd never spent that much on a knife before, even close to it. And the one being single action automatic, I mean, yeah, how could you go wrong, But yeah, so I got those two knives and I loved them. I was playing around with them and I thought, man, I wonder if it gets any better than this. And I got online and wow, yeah, to my surprise, it did. I found Spyderco first, and I really like them. I know a lot of people don't like the aesthetic of Spyderco. They had to grow on me a bit, but man, they're my favorite brand now. Actually, one of I don't know. I like all knives, and I like to support USA made stuff. I really do. I try to do it in everything I buy. I probably don't make as big of effort as I should, but I do think about it a lot, and I do try. And knives are the same way. Like Zero Tolerance. I believe these are USA made. That's what they say anyway. I used to have just about every Zero Tolerance knife there was. But yeah, once I got going and realized, oh, wait a minute, there's something else I wanted to say. This was the very first Spyderco I ever bought. And when I got it, because I'm not a rich man, I do okay. I pay my bills and buy knives. And that's about it. That's all that's left. Take care of the kids, do, the normal things. But when I got this, I could barely pick it up. I thought it just felt better than anything I'd ever felt before. The materials, the Crewwear steel, when you're first reading about that stuff, it sounds like, something just really special. It is. It's a good steel. It is pretty special. But the carbon fiber, I thought this shit only, lived on race cars and stuff, space shuttles. But yeah, it took me 2 months to be able to use this thing, just because I think I give like $200 for it, and that's a lot of money for a knife. It still is. Times are changing. You can get a lot of good knives for $50 now. I don't think there was any Civivi or CJRB when I first started collecting knives. But yeah, it snowballed from there. But yeah, that accident is what kind of, started me back into it to the point of where I'm at now. Because without that happening, and me being reminded of my dad's knife, and made me start thinking about this. And my dad carried one of these. He used it to hunt with, but he used it for everything else too. I mean, everything else. Nobody was allowed to touch it. I always remember him having this on his side or next to his bed. It went everywhere with him. Not this exact one. Somebody stole my dad's, the real one. I had it for a while. It had been sharpened way down. It looked similar to this, but well loved. I wish I still had it. But yeah, okay, what was I saying? But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys, kind of tell you a little bit about me and what got me into knives and why I spend, why I have so many. And that's another thing. I know there's a lot of people out there about, use your knives, and if, why do you have them if you don't use them? And I'll use any of my knives. Any of the knives I have, there's times I go in there, I'll just grab any one of them and start using them. I have about 20 at a time that I use and carry, because kind of my thought process is, if I already have this many out that are scratched and used up and everything, or not used up, but being used, why get one more out and put a scratch on it? I can't even use 20 of them at a time. Why am I going to, shouldn't scratch all of them up at once? But different strokes for different folks, man. Really, I don't care how you do it. As long as you're happy, man, that's what matters. I've got a few Safe Queens that I'll probably never use. But the older I get, I'm telling you this, the more I am starting to use just about everything I have. Whether it's a Sprint Run, really old Spyderco. What I have. Oh, that's the wrong sheath. I actually won this from Bob DeMarco's channel, the Knife Junkie. And the off-grid knives, let me say this real quick. Not a fan. I've seen him. He really likes them on his channel. He talks about them a lot. And it was the aesthetic of them. I'm like, I don't know, man. Not for me. This thing here is fantastic. I won this, and I use it and carry it all the time. It's very, very thin, 14C 28N steel. Heat treated very well. Great knife, man. Very comfortable. Just very nice. Very nice knife. So check out Off Grid Knives, man. If you look at them and you think, I don't think that's for me, give them a shot. Good stuff. But let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, here. This is my Crane number 217. Any of you know what this is? Let me know in the comments if you do. It's not a utility knife. There's a certain job that this is for. You could probably Google it if you wanted to, but and it takes blades. If you ever need a real sharp blade, don't get a utility blade. Well, I'd give you the answer away if I told you that, but yeah, it's well used. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me, and like I said, a little bit about my history and why I'm into knives and things. I'm hoping the channel grows. If you like it, you believe in me at all, subscribe, like, a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm not saying I'm going to be, the best or biggest channel out there, because that's probably not going to happen. I don't have a whole lot of time for it. I've got the knives for it. I buy new knives all the time. I've got a Whedon and Ferris coming that I'm going to unbox on the channel. My daughter will probably be with me on that. She loves it. She's 5. She loves knives too. She's a huge Spyderco fan. Right now it's just because they're colorful. That's the reason. She sees all that colorful G10. This is actually a knife I give my wife. She breaks the tip off of everything she puts in her pocket, man. Every one of them. I said, honey, what were you doing with it? And she said, I was opening a can of something. I'm like, well, oh yeah. Well, okay. There went the tip. I sharpened it up a little bit. It'll come out eventually. But this is the Buckthorn, I think. Good little knife. It's probably, I don't know what the steel is on it. I don't know if it says or not. It's probably nothing really special. It don't say. Probably 8CR if that, but it's still a good knife. It's cool. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to show? Tucson knives. If you're ever interested in Tucson, man, you got to buy 3 to determine whether you like them or not. Tucson knives are a horse of a different color. They, man, you can spend $100 and get a Tucson and feel like, man, this is junk. I hate this. Or you can spend $100 and feel like you got a $500 knife. When they hit, they hit. They just do. That's kind of the joy of Tucson knives. Some of them are crazy. They might cut you when they're closed. You never know what you're going to get. But when you win big. These are a couple Tucson fixed blades. Really good handy size knives. Bone and wood handle. So I got them. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for listening to me for a while. If there's anything you want to see, anything particular, Spyderco, zero tolerance, anything, let me know. And if I have it, I'll show you. If you have any questions or comments, just ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.